Hey, hi, hello. I just want to preface this video by saying it is from a place of love. Rockstar is one of my favorite game companies and game makers of all time, but recently they've been on a really bad path, so I'm gonna get a little upset in this video. I'm gonna go a little crazy. Not really, but I'm just gonna not be very happy. So just know, I love Rockstar, I just hate the direction they're going down right now. Enjoy. Back in 2001, Rockstar released GTA 3, which is a fresh idea for the time and it was the best-selling game of the year. Then they released Vice City, which built off that and sold even better. Then San Andreas came out, which sold over 50% better and solidified the GTA series as many people's favorite game series of all time. By that point, GTA 4 barely had to try to get people to buy it, but it did anyway and sold like crazy. And finally, they released GTA 5 and GTA Online a little bit later, which as you may know has become one of the best-selling games and the #1 biggest and most profitable pieces of entertainment the world has ever seen. So you'd think Rockstar, and especially its parent company Take-Two, would be continuing that legacy and putting that effort that makes them the big bucks, right? No, they aren't. For example, in the months before the remastered trilogy of GTA games, Take-Two went on a DMCA ensuing streak for mod makers and creators of community tools for those games. People trying to improve the game for free were and still are being sued by Take-Two. This is in addition to some pretty ridiculous patent disputes, like targeting the developers of the 2021 Game Awards Game of the Year It Takes Two for its title being similar to the title of Strauss-Zelnick's oozing zit of a company. Take-Two isn't the only one here doing something controversial though, since the hashtag #SaveRedDeadOnline has been raging for weeks now as a call to action for Rockstar to give Red Dead Online some sort of content. It's been over 6 months since the last DLC, in July 2021 with the Blood Money update, and even that had a pretty mixed reception to say the least. Not a word has been spoken about Red Dead Online DLC since, and Rockstar has even missed posts for the event weeks in the game on and off. Despite that though, just recently they decided to promote a sale they're having for the game. People weren't very happy, to say the least. So yeah, that ain't good to start with. The next thing I want to look at though is the low effort content they've been producing. There's plenty of examples of this recently. Let's look at Rockstar's two largest pieces of content in the past few months, the trilogy and the contract DLC in GTA Online. We'll start with the trilogy. Honestly, I don't even think I have to explain this one. Rockstar employed a mobile game developer, Grove Street Games, which, going by their LinkedIn page, has 20 employees. Rockstar has several thousand employees, yet they put a team in charge with a spotty history that's less than 1% of their size to remaster 3 of their most beloved games. I mean, you're seeing the montage of bugs I'm putting in the background, it's just inexcusable. This is the product that got past Rockstar's management review, and my man Zelnick is saying the game was a success with just a, quote, glitch at launch. Still today, the game has a 0.6 out of 10 user score on Metacritic. That isn't some launch glitch, and the game isn't doing just great. So clearly, the trilogy didn't do too hot. What about something Rockstar themselves actually made though? Well, look no further than the contract DLC for GTA Online. Don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed this DLC. It was actually better than what I was expecting, which, albeit, was nothing. But there's several indicators that this DLC didn't have the utmost care applied to it. For starters, the thing I personally care about the most, the cars, were lackluster. The most obvious example of this was the iWagon. The running theory is they used the Rakoto as the base model and changed the geometry to look like the iWagon. It's a good theory too, since the interior is the same as the Rakotos, and it has the same crew logo bug where it only shows up on one of the doors. To add to that, they didn't fix the rear hatch clipping through the optional spoiler, and the wheel fitment is ruined when changing from the stock wheels to something custom. So yeah, I really don't like how lazy they were with it. I'll leave a comment up from DCA's channel from an alleged former project manager that worked with 3D modeling about it. He has a lot to say on how lazy they were. It wasn't just the iWagon either. There were some blatant reskins and mistakes like these. The Comet S2 Cabrio is just a soft-top Comet S2 with about 70% of the original S2's LSC modifications. The Deity is basically a carbon copy of the Paragon R at the front. The Xeno has a hitbox issue that makes it undrivable if you put on the mirror upgrades, and the Baller ST is just a Baller LE LWB with more customization. It's just not at all the best that Rockstar could do. This is in addition to the usual cookie-cutter non-VIP contract missions and the reused content within the VIP missions. To be fair though, the Franklin and Lamar missions were great just to see those two characters interact again, but honestly the gameplay itself is serviceable at best. So in general, this DLC was okay, but it's a far cry from the behemoth DLCs we used to get, like the Doomsday Heist. So at this point, you may be thinking that the reason for all this is because of GTA 6 or GTA 5 expanded and enhanced, but honestly, is it? We know it's basically confirmed that GTA 6 is in development, but Rockstar is a huge company. Surely they're organized enough to delegate their thousands of employees accordingly in order to both sustain the main cash cow, GTA 5, with quality content, and keep development for their next major release timely. right? As for Expanded and Enhanced, that's not very impressive either. The trailer video for it has over 300,000 dislikes, and what's within it is just embarrassing. It has plenty of bugs like Lester's doubled chair and the classic yellow license plates, and past that it has no new content. For example, seamless character switching, as they call it, isn't something Rockstar did. It's just the speed of the current console's SSDs. The graphics look basically no different than the current offering as well. I mean, look at this mirror. There's no reflection. It's 2022. It's just really disappointing. And clearly, creative leads at Rockstar are disappointed too. Immensely talented people at the studio like co-founder Dan Houser and writer and producer of 20 Years Laszlo Jones both left the company in 2020. They both had significant direct influence over Rockstar's games in the past, including GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. With them gone, I can't deny saying I'm a bit worried about GTA 6. Writing these games takes some serious talent, and those two are huge losses in that regard. Taking all this into consideration, Rockstar has a lot to do to win back a good chunk of its fan base. Red Dead fans are infuriated, Take-Two stock price is down 20% in the past year, a growing number of GTA fans are growing tired of GTA Online's rehashes, and everyone in between has their doubts about Rockstar's future. What could Rockstar and Take-Two do to redeem themselves, though? Well, plenty. They could communicate to the Red Dead fanbase about their plans for the game, no matter what it is. They could put some effort into the online mode too, there's plenty of players waiting for new content. They could also work on fixing the GTA trilogy, giving it the love and attention it actually deserves. Maybe hire modders of that trilogy to work at Rockstar like CD Projekt Red did to help claw themselves out of the Cyberpunk mess, instead of DMCAing their projects and suing them. Further, they could put the time and effort into GTA Expanded and Enhanced to make it truly worth the $60 it's rumored to cost. What we got in the trailer wasn't enough, to say the least. So there's plenty of avenues here for them to go down. There just has to be an effort and communication behind it. Everyone that knows what Rockstar used to be really hopes they do, but until they show us they mean it, I'd recommend to vote with your wallet. If you're unhappy with their practices, don't spend your money on their products. It's simple as that. It seems like that's the only way to get through to Rockstar and, more importantly, Take-Two. For now, we can hope things will change and Rockstar will be back to having the status it had in 2013 soon enough.